DRTV welcomes you tonight to tonight's live coverage of a very, very special broadcast. The Salute to Service 175K from the Phoenix International Raceway. Scramble race number 5 for the DRTV Premier Cup Series is down to the Final Four. A true semi-final field here tonight on DRTV. We'll be stuffed to the gills here live with the broadcast. A couple of very special things going on here tonight with this Salute to Service 175. I'm going to throw it over to my broadcast partner, as always, Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, a veteran of the U.S. Navy. Rich, a great night we have here, and I know we have something very, very special here. I believe we're going to be pausing here for a brief moment.
Yes, we do. We're going to go ahead and take it to the invocation here in just a second.
For these freedoms, again, we thank you. Lastly, Lord, we ask you to continue comforting the Stanton family, as we know that baby Sheldon is still in your healing hands, as he is in all of our hearts. We pray this simple prayer, and in your Son's name, we all say, Amen.
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 Great job.
All right, thank you. Very special thanks to our buddy from SMO, Brian Wolf, for tonight's invocation. Father's Day, we may have had a couple of little gremlins there, but we appreciate Brian Wolf. We appreciate everybody out there in YouTube land tonight for watching us. Thank you out there. My name is Phil Lacasse. Welcome my broadcast partner, Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, and a very special guest up here in the booth tonight from a Safer Barrier Project, Spec 4 mechanic from the United States Army, Mr. Jason Skaraki, as we know him in the community. J-Rock, and J-Rock, great to have you up here in the booth tonight. I know we're down Todd here tonight. Todd going through some very personal family issues with his newborn son, and Joe Allen on assignment tonight. So, Rock, we definitely appreciate you stepping up
we
here with us
shouldn't
tonight.
really be in danger of overheating, but it will, probably get up to about 220, so just keep an eye on that.
For a great show.
Oh, most definitely, Phil. I appreciate you guys letting me put in the booth here. I know you guys were crunching, I guess, to find someone to replace Todd. Big shoes to fill. I'm hoping I can deliver on that.
Well, we're going to do what we can up here tonight. The car's taking the grid here for 110 laps around Phoenix. Scramble race number 5, a quick starting lineup on your front row. The 68, Mauricio Bedoya. The 31, the point leader, Derek Justice, comes in tonight, Scramble eligible. Row 2, we find Dakota Wilkins, the 78, Martin Kurtz, the 92. Jeremy Jeffries in the 8, Robert Balkum, the number 18, rolls off 6th, also Scramble eligible here tonight. Isaac Johnson, the 72, Gary Piccolo in the 22, make up row 4. Row 5, the 99, Don Dangler, the 59, Ryan Johnson. Bobby Farrell, the 43, Dennis Chambers in the 110, John Palmer, Monty Keller, Ken Hansen, Tom Sylvain, Joey DeMann, Bruce Heil, Ed Stancliffe, and Kelly Horner. That's your starting lineup, 22 drivers strong. The field is in turn number 1 for the first time. We're hot and heavy out the gate here. Premier Cup Series Scramble race number 5 here tonight. 4 drivers, Derek Justice, Robert Balkum, Ryan Johnson, and Ken Hansen. Those 2 higher finishes of the top, those 4 drivers will advance onto the Homestead Miami Speedway for championship tonight, 1 week from tonight. But first lap out the gate, so far it looks to be the 31 of Derek Justice, J-Rock. He sprinted out to the race lead, and you know, you're the creator of this awesome build here we have here at the Phoenix International Raceway tonight. Tell us what you think we're going to see as far as a long run. Where's going to be the preferred group on the racetrack?
Well, the preferred groove is obviously going to be the low side in the turns, and straightaways or whatever, as short as they are, they're going to be way up against the wall. They're going to try and get as much momentum going into the turn as they can.
Well, single file, all strung out up front. The 68 Mauricio Bedoya, and that Hooters Chevrolet. He was our pole sitter. He sprinted out to the race lead here, now working lap number 3. AI Derek Justice, 9-time winner in the Premier Cup Series in 2016. He's currently in that second spot. Dakota Wilkins, great to see Dakota back out in the number 78, that Redline Motorsports entry. He's having a great run of the 3rd spot, and looks like the best battle on the racetrack on J-Rock. It looks like it may be around for that 4th spot. Martin Karch, the 92, and the 8 of Jeremy Jeffries was just all over his back bumper, but these guys all slipping and sliding around this Phoenix International Raceway through these first couple laps.
Yeah, that's for sure, Phil. Just trying to get a feel, get the heat in the tires, and get the optimum amount of grip, and I guess, and to get that car feeling good. They keep this up here. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, it will be keeping us on our toes all night long, as it's still the 68 of Bedoya with the race lead, 0.3 of a second back to Derek Justice, and then number 31. Wilkins, Karch, Jeffries, that's your current top 5. These guys are sprinkled single file throughout the top 5 and 6 cars. And Rich Patton, I know we need to get to talk to you here in our pre-race series. We were just real quick to get on the air and jump straight into the race action. But, so far, so good at Phoenix, and a terrific turnout we got. And, of course, Scramble race number 5. And, of course, salute to Service 175. It's Veterans Day weekend. We salute all our men and women out there who have served or are currently serving. So it's a big night for us here on DRTV.
Yeah, definitely is. There's quite a few veterans involved in this, as we go along, and we're going to kind of feel that out as we get going. But definitely interesting race around here tonight. Once again, this is the 2nd week where we really started pushing the race within a race. And I'm not sure how much you've talked onto that so far yet tonight, but this is getting intense. They've got, I believe, 4 drivers left, if that's not correct. They're going to get down to 2 drivers left for the the championship here at the end of the season after this race. So it's nice to win this event tonight. It would be great for one of these drivers to take home the victory, but the real race is going to be seen between these 4 drivers.
Yeah, and it's a race within a race. As we documented here, we were at Texas last week. We brought the field of 6 down to 4, and one more elimination here tonight. We'll take 4. It's a true semifinal. We'll narrow that field down to 2. It'll be a 1 versus 1, winner take all. Highest finisher at Homestead next week will be crowned the 2016 Premier Cup Series champion. But of course here, the jewel in the desert, the Phoenix International Raceway, 110 laps around. Working lap number 8 there, J-Rock, and looks like Mauricio Bedoya, that number 68, he certainly looked like he's very, very hooked up, and he's starting to pull away a little bit from our 2nd place runner, Derek Justice.
Yeah, even though that going on there, Phil, we've been taking a look. There's a couple of drivers that actually came down pit road kind of early, kind of do some single spins there. I'd see the Joey DeMann in the number 3 car. He's just coming off a pit road right now. Suffered a little bit of a rear end damage there, and I guess he's going to be in the rears, I guess, for a little bit.
Yeah, he'll have to fight back, as you said. Joey DeMann, that number 3. Great to see Joey back in the Premier Cup Series. He's been away for a few months in that black number 3. He's made famous for a long time. Currently out there 2 laps down in 19th. Looked like there was maybe some issues here on the opening laps with the John Palmer machine, the 108. I don't know if Kelly Horner had issues as well, but a couple of guys already laps down outside of the top 18. 20 drivers took the green flag here tonight, so a great field for the Premier Cup Series. Check out the home base of the series, all the point standings, all the scramble updates. TDR-racing.net is the home for the Premier Cup Series, and of course DRL Network, the home of DRTV. Find us at drlnetwork.com. Check out our great event packages, great new reduced rates. Get your league on DRTV. Get all the first-class treatment, the great looks that we give week after week. We'd love to come over to your league and showcase everything you got going on. So book shows with us now. drlnetwork.com here at Phoenix. So far, clean and green through these first dozen laps, and guys look like they settled it down. But you look at these front runners, Bedoya, the 68, Justice, Dakota Wilkins, they've got a 2.5 seconds on this whole field, J-Rock. Those guys are absolutely just pulling away.
That is for sure. I'm watching both. I'm going back and forth between watching these guys in the front and in the back. These guys that had to pit early, obviously, they're gonna be struggling, hoping maybe for that caution come out to catch up with the field.
Yeah, these guys certainly pulling away there. Those top 3, they've got 2-second gap over 4th place running Martin Karch. Jeremy Jeffries currently in that 5th spot. Just updating here real quick. Here with a dozen laps or better in the books. Just updating the scramble standings is right now. Derek Justice will be the top of those 4 drivers, and Robert Balker with the number 18. Those 2 guys, Robert currently back in that 7th spot. They're the top 2 of those 4 championship eligible drivers. Updating just on the other 2, Ryan Johnson's out there. He's currently in that 15th spot. Ken Hansen, the 109, currently in 13th. So those guys, they got a lot of time left here, J-Rock, but they're falling precious seconds behind these top two. But it's still a long race ahead of us.
Oh, most definitely, Phil. The thing that is impressing me, even with the little incidents, I guess, with the Joey DeMann and the John Palmer vehicle, no caution. I mean, these guys are still hard at it, and I'm sure those guys that are back there, you know, looking to get back up into the lead pack there, I think are just hoping for a caution.
They're going to drive their tails off, no doubt about it. Just looking around, great battles going out on the speedway. Not sure if Rich has got this highlighted. A great battle for the 4th spot between Jeremy Jeffries, the number 8, the 92 of Martin Karch, and the 72 of Isaac Johnson. Those 3 drivers you can just throw on over under blanket. Martin with the inside maneuver. He's going to clear the Jeffries machine. Maybe not, as he gets loose there at the exit of turn number 4. But that is great racing, J-Rock, for 4th place on back there. And also looks like they have a lap traffic ahead of them. The 108 of John Palmer, he's up and out of the way. But so far, so good here at Phoenix. These guys racing all over this racetrack, and it's making for some great, terrific pictures for us.
That is for sure. I'm watching, like I said, just going through this whole field. There is racing all over the place. You got the back guys that are behind, trying to stay up with these guys in the front. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, these guys really doing a great job here at Phoenix so far. Clean and green through the first 17 markers, all single file at the front of this thing. Bedoya Wilkins, Dakota Wilkins, he's made the pass on Derek Justice. I think that happened just about a lap ago. I'm not sure if the 31 got loose or he's in tire conservation mode, but the 78, he was here early. He's been practicing all night long. Really like this new Phoenix build here you've given us tonight, J-Rock. And that 78, he's on the move. He's starting to cut into our race leader's advantage there. He's cut it down to one second even.
Yeah, looks like he's gotten around the 31 of Derek Justice there, and now he's gunning for Bedoya, living up there. He's in his own zip code, it seems, right now.
Now we look at the 31 of Justice, currently in that 3rd spot, maybe just conserving his tires, saving a little bit of time. But how much do you think in the back of his head is this Scramble standing, J-Rock? He needed to be in the top 2 of those 4 drivers, and how much you think maybe that he's just minding his time and biting his tires as yellow flags on the speedway?
Yeah, I just saw the number 3 as you said that, Phil. Just as Derek and the 78 there passed the number 3 car, I guess going in the 1. Yeah, he had some trouble there.
So we're under yellow flag, first time tonight. Currently working lap number 19. Looks like there's a spin cycle there for the number 3 of Joey DeMann. He was a little bit off the pace there. Not sure if he had damage or what was going on. I know Joey's been under the weather this week, so he was certainly playing with a stacked deck coming into Phoenix tonight. And Phoenix certainly a place, and you're not on top of your game, it can certainly chew you up and spit you out. And Rich Patton, I believe you're ready with the replay for the first time tonight. Just looks like an instance there. Joey getting a little bit out of the groove and out of shape, and around he goes.
Yeah, most definitely. There's not quite as much banking on this track as you know they're used to in previous tracks we've been running. It's a little flatter by design, and the number 3 of Joey DeMann gets into this corner a little bit maybe too hot, gets the rear end out from under him. We'll go ahead and play this through at slow motion and watch you what happened. But basically, he gets in there, gets on the brakes. You see the nosedive just a little bit. The rear end slow motion starts coming around. Looks like he's already got a little bit of damage on the back end of that car, but he's going to add to it as he smacks the outside wall. Once again, the nose goes up and smacks the wall a little bit as well. Everybody else seems to be able to get down around him, below him on the track. So it doesn't look like anybody else is involved. He went ahead and took his car to the back immediately after that. And a tough break for Joey DeMann. Looks like he might be out after this one already. And this is early in the event.
Yeah, certainly tough break for Joey. Looks like maybe a little bit of damage went around. And like I said, I know he was feeling under the weather, maybe just not feeling up to the challenge here at Phoenix. I know he came in tonight raring, ready to go. But, certainly, when you're under the weather, J-Rock, in a line-sensitive place like Phoenix, it may not look so hard to our viewers on DRTV, but, to way to get out here, especially with a competitive field like we got, to go fast and keep your rhythm all night long, it can certainly wear you out in a bit.
Yeah, that's for sure, Phil. Sorry to hear that for Joey. I guess he had, like I said, he had early problems early on as far as sustaining some damage there, and I'm sure that didn't help his situation here in this latest caution. So I haven't seen him officially fall out yet, so I don't know if he's going to continue to run some circuits or not.
Well, the pit window here tonight, not sure we've got the document at that yet, is we came on the air real quick with the invocation and right back into the field here for green flag racing. But looking like the pit window here as far as fuel was about 38 to 43 laps, J-Rock. Do you think these guys running at this pace, can they make a full tire run at 40 laps?
Yeah, that's an interesting observation there, Phil, because right now we're running at about 22 circuits so far, and this might fall into leader's favor if I'm doing my math correctly. We got 110 laps overall. These guys are clutching it, I guess, as I'm watching it. They're under this caution, so it could very well be.
I'll have to see what's going to happen there as we're 22 laps up on the board. First caution flag of the night, just looking toward pit road. Looks like Ed Stancliffe in the 210 yet to come to pit road, so I'm sure he'll come and get it full of fuel, fresh tires on that thing. He'll get pointed back in the right direction. It looks like it's going to recycle out to our pole sitter, the 68 Mauricio Bedoya, the pride of Bogota, Colombia. He looks like he's going to be our race leader. The 78 Dakota Wilkins having a great run out the gate. Looks like he'll restart in that second position. Third, Derek Justice. Jeremy Jeffries currently fourth, and looks like Robert Balcom, one of those Scramble guys, J-Rock, currently in the top five. You would think these two guys would be the heavy favorites out of these four Scramble-eligible drivers, but you can't shake a stick at the accomplishments of the Ken Hansons, Ryan Johnson, those other two drivers. They had tremendous seasons here in 2016, and don't want to, think these guys can't do it, because I have all the confidence in all these guys, and I'm sure they feel very accomplished coming into Phoenix, but a lot of racing here left to go. So much can happen.
Yeah, that's for sure, Phil. You mentioned the likes of the 59er Ryan Johnson and Ken Hansen, whatever. They didn't get here to this point just not working their tail off, and they've deserved where they're at, and it's not over yet. So a lot of racing action still to see, and I look to see for those guys to be up the front at the end.
It looks like the lights atop of DRTV pace fan are extinguished. 23 laps, 110 laps the distance here tonight. This tricky Phoenix International Raceway, 1.022 miles. How dare we call that a mile? I know we'd get a stick shaken at us, so we call that an even mile. 175 kilometers. The distance make up 110 laps. Here the van is off, and we're going to restart. Bedoya, Wilkins, Justice, they're hard on the gas pedal headed to turn one, J-Rock.
Loud pedal is down, as Todd Stanton would say. I hope you'd be proud for me to say that. That's one of his major claims to fame, I guess, in broadcasting here. And Todd, if you're out there, hope you're watching, enjoying the show, and hope I'm doing you proud.
No, absolutely on the money there. Our thoughts and prayers with the Stanton family. Todd going through sometimes with his newborn son, Sheldon. Our thoughts and prayers all with him tonight. And, of course, a thank you this weekend being Veterans Day weekend to all our men and women out there in service to our country, those that past or present are serving. The salute to service 175. Rich Patton is down the backstretch toward the kink, toward turn 3. That's one of many interesting things we see here at Phoenix. That kink in the backstretch, it certainly makes some very, very interesting racing, and makes you set up these corners, especially the exit of 2 and the entrance to turn 3. You certainly charge the racetrack way differently than you would normally.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I don't know if the spectators watched that or not, but we just watched. They did it again, getting into that corner. Justice is locking the brakes up, smoke checking the tires, getting into those corners. He might be getting a little bit hotter than he likes to. And he seems to be slowly falling back as well, as he's now being challenged by the 72 below him. Tough break. I'm not sure if he's having car problems or what, or if it's just the nature of this track. But Justice is slowly fading back, and he's certainly burning up them tires on a couple quarters already. We witnessed, Phil.
So we look up toward the leaderboard as these guys are slipping and sliding in J-Rock. I've been all around the 31 of Derek Justice, currently in that 5th spot. He has got that thing broken loose all over this place. Back end is kicking out, and can't imagine he's doing any kind of tire conservation there. That's a very, very aggressive line. He is driving, diving into the corner really low, washing up the racetrack. What do you think that's going to do for his tires over the course of a long run? He's currently in that 5th spot.
Yeah, that's not going to do him very well, Phil. And that's a common thing that we see with this new build here. Like Rich had mentioned earlier, there's not a lot of banking in this thing. You almost have to treat it like a flat track, like something closer to New Hampshire, say, for example. You don't want to go charging in there like that, because drivers, and just like I'm seeing with those like Justice and that, they're trying to get maintain that momentum, that speed off of the straightaways, and you just can't do that here.
So these guys are clicking them off awfully quick. 29 up on the board, just as we left it. Bedoya, that number 68, the 78, Dakota Wilkins, Jeremy Jeffries, the 8. That's your current top 3. Trying to pull some distance from the field. The Isaac Johnson machine, the 72. Isaac, a 2-time winner in the Premier Cup Series in 2016, currently in that 4th spot. The Rookie of the Year last year, having a great season this year, had his way into the original path to Premier Scramble, lasted through the first 2 races. Unfortunately, not in the top, 4 guys here tonight that are championship eligible, but having a great run out of the gate here, J-Rock, currently in the 4th spot, and he's been a really, really consistent line all night long, and before the end of the night is out, that 72 may be a factor.
Oh, most definitely. He's shown his strength at several tracks throughout the season, and he's one of those. I think I might have missed your point there, Phil, but I think he's already been dropped out of the Scramble. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And just looking out there, speaking of the Scramble, looking at that top transfer spot there, Robert Barkham, number 18, the 31, Derek Justice. Those 2 guys in the lead, 2 so far in that final 4. But the 18 now of Robert Barkenbridge, Patton, made a great move to the low side of the racetrack off of turn 4, was able to get back in the gas pedal and keep traction. That 18 is moving forward, and the 31 of Derek Justice looks to be slipping back through this field some.
Yeah, most definitely. Balkum and Justice were side by side for about a lap and a half, battling each other. Balkum finally got up in the groove he wanted to, and he slowly started pulling away from him, along with Piccolo right behind him into 22. Also got around Justice as well. Justice is, again, slowly falling back. Not sure if he was having issues with his tires earlier, but as you can see, Bruce Heil has also made it around him in the 71 as well, and he's about to get attacked by Ken Hansen, who is also another runner for this coveted positions. We're looking for the top 2 tonight out of these 4, and the Scramble. Sorry about that, Phil, but Hansen backed off a little bit. He was up on Justice's back end, getting ready to pounce, but for whatever reason, he backed off and dropped back about 5 or 6 car lengths. So Ken's slowing up in the field a little bit. Not sure what's going on, but definitely Justice is under fire for this championship.
Yeah, he's on that coveted bubble spot right now. We're going to take the top 2 of those 4, as you said, and looks like we're going to have a battle for that last transfer spot on the bubble between Justice and Ken Hansen. Looks like that Coors machine, that number 109, just slipped back a little bit. Derek was able to get away, but now Derek losing a position there for the 9th spot to the high side hustler Martin Karch at 92, and we may see that battle for the transfer position happen there, J-Rock, as they hit turn 3. Derek's got it. Ken Hansen having a great run. He is all over the back bumper, and we may see an exchange there between that transfer spot as they exit turn 4.
That is for sure, Phil. I'm watching that battle between the 109 of Ken Hansen and Derek Justice there, and Ken, I think, is just waiting for Derek to just slip up and just get by him. He's gonna race him clean. Just bide his time for now.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's racing now back for the 10th position on the racetrack. That's a full 10 seconds behind 6.5 seconds rather, I should say, off our race leaders. Bedoya there, that number 68, starting to pull away from the field. It was 1.5 second advantage over second place Dakota Wilkins. Isaac Johnson, the 72, he's worked his way to the 3rd spot, starting to make some ground on that 78 for that 2nd position. But Rich, we've known Mauricio for a long time, always been one of the faster guys. Anytime you see that 68 coming to any server, he's usually one of the heavy hitters, one of the fastest cars. And Mauricio, our friend from Colombia, certainly on the move tonight. Looks like the class of the field so far.
Yeah, Bedoya is definitely flexing some muscles as we keep our eyes on the 68 Hooters car getting around Phoenix here. He has definitely found his groove, and he is on spot, point, what you want to call it. Definitely making up some ground and pulling away from the rest of the field. I don't know. If he keeps up this pace and everybody else is doing what they're doing, looks like they're struggling to get around this track, I think Bedoya is a sure thing for this thing tonight if he can keep it clean so far. But we still got a lot of racing to go, so who knows so far.
Yeah, they're currently working 38. They're going to put 39 up on the board next time by. And as you said, Rich, 110 laps. That is a long race here. 110 plus miles with that 1.022. I'm not sure exactly what the math calculates out to, but 175 kilometers tonight, the Phoenix International Raceway. Brand new rebuild. We thank our partner J-Rock for this tremendous looking racetrack here tonight. This thing is this picturesque and perfect. They don't call it the jewel of the desert for no reason. And so far, so good, J-Rock. We've been slowed by one yellow flag through these first 40 laps, and we've seen some tremendous battles as these guys are slipping and sliding all over this racetrack.
Yeah, just going through the field again yet, Phil, and just watching some of the guys that are struggling, like, we've been mentioned Derek Justice, and other guys just kind of biding their time. It's like I'm looking at the 109, the 59, they're just like letting it settle in. But then you got the likes of Bedoya, as we talked about. He's in a different zip code, and he's just enjoying it.
Yeah, just updating, Mauricio's is pulling away, as you said, but looking at these guys battling second place on back, there's a good gap between Dakota and Isaac there. That battle for that second spot, about 10 or 12 car lengths between them, but just looking back through the latter part of that top 5, Jeremy Jeffries, Tom Sylvain, the 2 car, he's moved his way to the 5th spot. He looks like he may be one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. Don't have lap times. That's where I miss my buddy Todd up here. He's always just right on that, a real stickler for lap times and trends for these guys just coming and going as far as speed goes. But that number 2, J-Rock, he is on the move, currently in that number top 5. And Rich, I believe you can elaborate more about the Tom Sylvain machine. He is certainly just flying around this racetrack in the 5th spot.
Yeah, most definitely. Tom has moved up through the field pretty quickly, rather. I was watching him getting around Justice, and the rest of the field back in the back earlier was making it look pretty easy. Wasn't having too many issues. Looking through the standings here real quick, trying to find out where he's at in my points system. Let me update that for a second. Sorry about that. I had a glitch on my system. Tom Sylvain, last lap was a 28.066. Not the fastest lap that time around, but he's definitely moving up through the field pretty quickly. Right now, your leader's last lap was 27.785 to get around this track.
Yeah, Mauricio certainly just laying waste to this field. It was 2.8 seconds last time around. Cannot believe here, with now 20 laps of better on his tires, J-Rock, he is able to just lay it to the wood and just wearing out this field here. He's got some heavy hitters behind him. Dakota and Isaac, 2 of the younger drivers out there, but certainly 2 of the fastest we know in this community. We know heavy hitters like Jeremy Jeffries, Tom Sylvain, a multiple-time winner in this series this year. Mauricio Bedoya, that number 68, is just driving away from these guys.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's the moral of this story, I guess you could say, Phil, is the 68 has checked out, and these guys are just trying to catch him. It's really interesting to see how far Sylvain always impresses when he comes. I don't remember where his starting position was, and that's what I was looking for. But yeah, he's obviously moved himself up way through the field, and yeah, he's charging his way up there.
Yeah, he certainly is doing that. Just looking out to the YouTube chat box, I'm able to interact with you guys tonight. Just want to say a special thanks to Brian Wolf out there. See him in the chat box engaging. Our good buddy Bob Tompkins Sr. out there. Good evening, Bob. Appreciate each and every week here. You're probably our most loyal supporter. We appreciate all of that. Everybody out there, I see J-Rock's partner James out there. He says this track was so much fun to build, and I'm gonna say, J-Rock, you guys really hit this one out of the park. This thing is absolutely just beautiful, and looks like it's very, very racy. And I think these guys out here certainly enjoying it. We're certainly enjoying it, Rich. We're seeing some great racing out on the racetrack. We've seen that 2-car up Tom Sylvain. We documented how fast he was. He just picked around Jeremy Jeffries for that 4th spot, and he's running down that Isaac Johnson machine for 3rd. I think it's going to be up 2 or 3 laps. We may see a battle there amongst those top 3 drivers.
Yeah, I think you're right, and another one to keep an eye on. We haven't been talking about too much. We've mentioned him. He is in the run for the Scramble. That's the 18 of Robert Balkum. He also just made it around Jeremy Jeffries in the number 4 car, and he is on the move as well, trying to track down that number 2 of Tom Sylvain, as Tom Sylvain's making his way towards the front. Got a lot of ground to cover, but he is certainly on the move. Yes, he is. That number 18 on a mission, as you said. His mission was simple. Advance to Homestead, race for this championship next week. He loves Phoenix. He's always been really, really good at these flat tracks, and it runs like a short track. So, wouldn't you know, Robert Balkum is going to be a contender before this thing is out, currently in that 5th spot, but he's 7 seconds in the rears. Mauricio just laying waste to the field. Last time around, it was close to 4 seconds between our race leader and that batter for second there with that number 78 of Dakota Wilkins off of turn number 4. The battle for that scramble position, that bubble spot, Derek Justice still there in that number 31, 11 seconds off the rears of this field. He's got the 109 of Ken Hansen right in his tire track. So through the first 50 laps, it looks like that battle for that scramble spot there, J-Rock, through this latter half of this race. I think it's going to be picking up here real soon. And could we dare say at Phoenix we may see green flag pit stops in about 10 laps?
I was just thinking about that, Phil. It's like we're getting into the run. I mean, we went restarted at around lap 23. We're already into lap 49, coming to 50. Yeah, it's very likely we could possibly see, if this continues on the track that it is, that we could see some green flag stops.
All right, Rich, I believe you have an update. Heard you on my ear chiming. You got something good for us.
Yeah, I was just yelling. I'm looking through my standings and my stats right now, and so far, every driver on the track has pitted at least one time already, so we're kind of out of our window where we thought we would be pitting The only people that I've got pitting so far more than once is going to be Jeremy Jeffries. He's got 2 pits. Ryan Johnson's been in twice. Joey DeMann's been in twice. We know he's retired from the event already. And also John Palmer in the 108 tonight has already been through the pits 3 times tonight as well. So we're going to have to kind of feel this out and see where their pit window is adjusted to, since they kind of throw out our normal lap thinking earlier on in this event.
And that is Johnny on the spot, Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, as always in the DRTV control booth, on top of everything. And we thank Rich for all he does for DRTV. And, of course, Rich, an aviator, instructor, mechanic, U.S. Navy Tomcat Squadron. So, Rich, we appreciate your service to this country. I know we're here tonight on Veterans Day weekend, and I'm sure it's a special meaning to you on Veterans Day to come out here and do something like this and pay homage to all your fellow servicemen out there. Is their sacrifice to our country certainly never far from our thoughts. Anything to do here on DRTV.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You know, you give your hats off to everybody that went out there and served, and I was proud to serve my time as well and had a good time while I was out there doing it. And you know, it's more than just a job. It's an adventure, they say, and that's pretty much what it boils down to. And you know, once you start chatting with a veteran, you know that they're down-to-earth people and they've got your back and they're honest with you, and you know, they're just good people all around. I'm proud to be part of the group.
Yeah, always great to pay homage to our servicemen anytime we get out here. And, you know, of course, you know, Todd Stanton, my normal partner up in the booth here tonight, as you said, we've documented, you know, having family issues there with a newborn son, so he's going to be away from us here for a little bit. And our normal co-host up here in the booth, Joe Allen, unable to be here tonight. So it's a great treat to have our friend. We know him in the community as J-Rock from the Safer Barrier Project. J-Rock, a Spec 4 mechanic in the United States Army. So, of course, we're going to say thank you, and it's an honor to be up here in the booth with both of you guys here tonight who have served. And, you know, talk about what Veterans Day means to you, J-Rock. We always have our servicemen, you know, very near and dear to all of us. Their service to this country usually goes very, very much unappreciated, but it's just the littlest that we can do here on a place like DRTV to give our thanks and pay our respects to all those who have served and continue to celebrate all those who have served.
Yeah, I think Rich pretty much hit the nail on the head there, I guess, as far as most veterans that you talk to, like that, like myself and Rich, they are down-to-earth people. They have a mindset of wanting to be able to just be helpful to people, be kind to people, and not you know, you think you're on the front lines and stuff like that. It's all about hate and war and stuff like that, but that's not true. We try to you know, convey some sense of peace. You know, if that's, you know, that doesn't necessarily hold true, I guess, to some people's viewpoint of it, but that's essentially what, you know, the way we like to convey ourselves.
Absolutely. We pay homage. You know, one of our drivers out here in the Premier Cup Series wears that service on his arm, the dog, John Palmer. Unfortunately, the dog looks like he's pulled over, retired for the evening. But the 108, John Palmer, was hoping to get a word with him later on here tonight. Looks like he's checked out for the evening, but we thank Dog for all his service he's given to the country. He's past the halfway marker, 57, 58 laps now of 110 up on the board. We've seen some of our front runners, the likes of Jeremy Jeffries, Isaac Johnson. Those guys have come to pit road, so they're electing to take these tires early, which we'll have to see how this plays out. You know, especially compared to the likes of Bedoya now, that number 68 still out there on the racetrack making laps with a 6-second lead. How long do you think, Rich, he can afford to stay out there at the rate he's paying off there with those lap times? Do you think that guys like Isaac and like Jeremy, do they have anything left to gain with coming into pit road so early?
I'm not sure. I'll tell you that I do know that. Yeah, we're still on. I do know that Tom Sylvain is on the move, definitely moved up into second place. He's gotten around Watkins. Watkins is still battling with him, staying on his bumper. Meanwhile, Bedoya, as you mentioned, I saw it in the chat box on YouTube, he is on rails, and yes, indeed, he is on rails. I believe he's running so smooth that he's conserving his tires even though he's running these high lap speeds. I don't see him jerking in any direction, left or right. He's running a very smooth line, and we can get back up there and keep an eye on Bedoya as we talk about him. He is definitely on rails, running a very smooth line. I don't know if anybody's going to touch that car tonight. He is on fire. But I'll tell you what, Tom Sylvain has moved his way up through the field. Bedoya is now coming down the pits as we're live on the air with him. He makes an excellent pit entrance. Meanwhile, looks like Sylvain right behind him is going to come in as well. We can back up to see Sylvain getting in there. Sylvain made a good stop as well. So both of your first and second place leaders are now down pit road, Phil.
Yeah, let's see what these guys, you got to think they've come down there, get 4 fresh goodies, get on and off pit road. And as you said, Bedoya with that humongous lead, it was close to 6 seconds over Tom Sylvain. We'll have to update where that interval comes when these guys leave pit road. It's definitely going to be 4 tires and fuel for that Miller Genuine Draft number 2 from Canada. Our buddy Tom Sylvain, a 2-time winner this year. Also going to be a 4-tire stop for Mauricio Bedoya in that number 68. Also, Don Degler, 99, just saw 4 tires and hit into the pit road. Is a pit road, J-Rock, looking to be a very, very busy place. I'm looking for our current race leader, the 78 of Dakota Wilkins. He's yet to make his pit stop, but you think it's going to be too long before he does. And this, as we say that, yellow flag for the second time tonight. Yellow flag, and that's certainly going to jumble up the field.
Oh, that is for sure, Phil. I was just going to hit on what you were saying about, we were talking about green flag stops earlier. Right in the window, I guess, of that. I guess they were able to go to about 40-some laps, I guess, on a run of tires. And too bad, I guess, for those that I don't think anybody got caught on pit road. That's what I was looking for, too.
Looks like the likes of, I think, Martin Karch may have been down on pit road, the 92. He was among, it looks like, a couple of cars down there. Not sure if I believe I saw Gary Piccolo down there as well, and also Dennis Chambers' machine. So those guys coming on and off pit road, I'm not sure if they stopped and got their service, but it's certainly frantic when the yellow flag comes out right in the middle of green flag pit stops. The handful for the drivers to get all sorted out. It's a handful for the admins. They're going to have their work cut out for them here, getting these guys all sorted back in line and everybody on the right lap and where they're supposed to be. So we'll let these guys get that sorted out. But Rich Patton, you've got it sorted out down there. You're ready with a DRTV replay. Down to you.
Yeah, definitely sorted out down here. We're going to keep our eyes on the 92 of Martin Karch and also the 72 on the outside of Isaac Johnson. As you can see, the 31 of Derek Justice is right in front of them. He escapes all the melee. As we play this out, there's a little bit of contact. Looks like Johnson's going up by the wall. He comes off the wall just a tad. It's going to catch the right front corner of the 92 of Martin Karch. That's going to spin him around. As you see there, 109 of Ken Hansen. He flies by as well. You know, both of them guys, Justice and Hansen, both looking for the scramble. But it's not over yet. Let's go ahead and back this camera back up towards Isaac Johnson. Johnson's going to get a knock on the back door in just a moment. We'll play this out. Meanwhile, everybody else is able to get around, everything fine. It wasn't Johnson, it was Martin Karch, hit by 110 of Dennis Chambers. We haven't talked much about Dennis Chambers, but obviously he did not see Martin Karch sitting there. Gave Martin Karch a big old smack. Everybody else is finally slowing down. Tough break for these guys. Looked like Martin Karch might have got the worst of that one, but it looks like our scramble runners all got through that unscathed.
Yeah, we'll have to update where they come down and they shake out here in the running order as they now complete through under this second yellow flag of the night. Past the halfway mark, 64 of 110 on the board. Of course, Scramble race number 5 for the DRTV Premier Cup Series here. 4 drivers, the final 4, trying to race their way to Homestead next week. Derek Justice, Robert Bauckham, Ryan Johnson, Ken Hansen, those 4 drivers. The top finishing 2 of those 4 advance on to championship night 1 week from tonight at the Homestead Miami Speedway. But of course, here tonight, we're celebrating Veterans Day weekend, saluting all our past and present servicemen and women out there. This to salute the service 175 here at Phoenix. And we talked about the dog John Palmer before being out of the event, but I think we may still have communication with John. We're going to see if we can't talk to a veteran of war and all, great service to our country. The dog John Palmer. John, you have a copy, my friend.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching Ken Hansen and Ryan and Isaac. What's up?
We're just up here in the booth, buddy, watching it just as you are as it unfolds on the racetrack. I know you were out there tonight for a little bit. Now, what's the track and setup like tonight at Phoenix? These guys seem to be slipping and sliding around, and it's making for some great racing out there.
Well, I thought it was a little tight when it started out, but I wasn't very much in the groove anyway, and I decided to just stay out of their way because it is the scramble, and decided just to watch these 3. I thought it was all right. I just wasn't very fast.
Yeah, understood. Phoenix is definitely a place that if you're not on your game, it can certainly chew you up here real quickly there, dog. But, of course, it's Veterans Day weekend, and, of course, we think of Veterans Day and guys that have served our country so notably. Yourself, Mr. Dog, John Palmer, you're a veteran yourself. Give our viewers out there who may not know your background in the armed services for us.
I was in the United States Air Force during the Vietnam era. I was not in Vietnam. I was a weapons mechanic on F-4 Phantom fighter bombers. That's basically part of a load crew that installs the armaments on the aircraft so we can give the stinger on the beast, so to speak.
Yeah, if you ever want to hear the great stories of those years gone by in the service, the dog John Palmer, one of the greatest conversations you can have of anybody in this community. So you ever look him up, he's got some great stories. And dog, I just want to thank you for your service and appreciate a couple of minutes here to talk to you. I was excited to see, I saw you were out of the race, but I was really, really excited to see that you were still up here in the race channel with us. So I appreciate a couple of words, buddy. We salute you for your service, and we hope to talk to you again here real soon on DRTV. Certainly one of our favorites to watch.
Well, thank you very much, Phil, and lots of thanks to what you all do. You're probably the template of the industry.
Well, we certainly appreciate the kind words, and dog, we'll talk to you again here real soon. Is J-Rock, we're back under Green Flag Racing.
Yes, we are. I was just gonna. We appreciate your service as well, John. Very well relate, but watching the 109, he was trying to get around the. He was trying to get around the 21 there. It looks like he's made that happen, and he's obviously one of those chase scramble drivers. Sorry, Phil. Those scramble drivers that's looking to finish this night out strong.
And I love how you guys have started to correct yourself. This is the Path Premier Scramble. We're not chasing points out here. We're chasing the best finish. We are scrambling for the best finish. Scramble to survive week after week through this scramble here on DRTV. As part of the Premier Cup Series, it's been a tremendous season here. This championship format has certainly lived up to the billing now with just outside of 40 laps to go. It is Robert Bauckham leading that scramble field here. He is our current race leader. Dakota Wilkins has had a great night and a great rebound for Derek Justice on number 31. He's currently in that third spot, but that's the race for the bubble spot. Derek has it, that 109 if Ken Hansen wants it, Rich Patton, and those two guys have had a great battle all night long, and I can't wait to see where these next 40 laps are going to take us.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this thing finishes out. Looks like Hansen wants it. Justice being on the bubble, that's not something normally you would hear about Derek Justice being on the bubble, being almost out of the window for a championship, but he certainly is. He's been strong all season long, and now he's fighting for his life to stay in it. Ken Hansen's not going to give any mercy up for him. Had the camera messed up just a little bit ago, was following the wrong race car, thought I was on the right leader. Of course, that was Bedoya. I've been Bedoya brainwashed. He's been dominating this field already tonight, and I just thought that's where we were at. Wasn't paying attention to stats. But anyway, we're back up to speed, keeping our eyes on Bauckham in that number 18. He is certainly running strong up front now.
Yeah, looks like Bedoya there. He was one of those guys trapped on the tail end of the lead lap, as it was said, when that caution flag came out right in the middle of green flag pit stops. It hung up Mauricio and Tom Sylvain. Jeremy Jeffries, those guys got hung out on the tail end of the lead lap, so they're going to have to race their way back to the lead lap the hard way, J-Rock. They're going to hope for a quick caution and maybe catch up the hard way at this point, but they certainly got a long way to go. But at this point, you're looking at 72 laps up on the board, 110 the distance, maybe one more pit stop from here under green flag. Do you possibly think anybody from here, J-Rock? I think it was about 45 laps here to go when we took the restart. Can anybody save the fuel and maybe manage the tires that long to maybe have made their last stop from here?
I don't know. That'd be a stretch, Phil. Mathematically, thinking about it, I guess it's possible. But if there's not another caution that doesn't come out there, I think it's going to play havoc, I guess, on some of those guys like Tom Sylvain and Bedoya that ran so strong early in the run. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out.
And you're the creator of this great build we have here, this Phoenix SBP version that we've showcased tonight for the Premier Cup Series. The transition on and off pit road looks like it's can be a very difficult transition if you get on and off too fast. Tell us what that transition is like here under green flag conditions. How difficult is it in a place like Phoenix to make your green flag pit stop clean?
Well, and I think it's just like I mentioned earlier, Phil. You have so much speed coming off the straightaways that you try to want to maintain carry that momentum, I guess, coming off and going into the turns. And I think that's what you've seen a lot of these. Granted, we haven't seen any drivers, spin out or have any solo spins that have any hard times coming onto pit road. So, yeah, it's a much different animal as compared to other tracks that have much more banking. So you gotta tackle it differently.
Yeah, and one of those things you say, especially with the stakes of the scramble on the line, we've had these guys, 3 of the 4 just up there in that top 5, racing tooth and nail. Bauckham and and Justice right there, nose to tail. And Ken Hansen, he's been right around the thick of it too. He's currently riding in that 5th spot on the outside looking in. But Rich Patton, as we set up here for these closing laps here, with one more pit stop left here to make, how much do you think that last pit stop as far as strategy goes? Are any of these guys going to maybe think about a 2-tire stop, or maybe you think at a place like a Phoenix, I'm not sure you think of it, but maybe a no-tire stop? What do you think these guys may do?
Yeah, I think if they're going to need to get the fuel, they might as well go ahead and take 2 tires. It's only going to benefit them. It's not going to really lose them any time. We were keeping our eyes on Ken Hansen in the 109. He was able to get around fast Eddie Lee in that 21. And now he's got his eyes set on the 110 of Dennis Chambers. For a while there, we had 3 of the 4 Scrambler runners bumper to bumper. That was Hansen. Just in front of him, a car in front of Chambers. The 31 of Derek Justice also in the Scramble, and right in front of Justice, he has now caught up with Balkum. The last 3 in the Scramble, of course, we know, oh, there's one around. Looks like Kelly Horner might have went around. We're going to get that on the replay in just a moment. But it looks like that's going to bunch up our Scramble runners. It's going to make for a very interesting race. I think this caution has just changed the pit strategy, and now it's going to boil down to what these 4 cars do.
Yeah, it looks like that might have been a 21 of Kelly Horner that went around. Not sure if there was contact out there on the racetrack or not. We'll let Rich get squared out here in a quick minute, and he'll show us what happened on the replay. But it's caution flag number 3 tonight from the Phoenix International Raceway. The Salute This Service 175 Scramble race number 5, race number 35 of the Premier Cup Series season. Can't believe it has gone by so fast. One more week here left to go. Championship night next week at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Cannot wait to get there. And of course, we'll be here live on DRTV with flag-to-flag coverage of championship night next week in Homestead. The semifinal here tonight. 4 drivers come in championship eligible. 2 drivers will walk away and advance their way into Phoenix. Phoenix, I should say. It's been a tremendous race so far as we're about to put 80 laps up on the board. Slowed by now caution flag number 3. Rich Patton, show us what happened out there.
Yes, indeed. Pretty impressive. Only 3 cautions so far this event. These guys are running a very strong race. We're going to keep our eyes on the 21 of Kelly Horner. As you noticed before we went to the replay, all of your Scramble contenders are all in the pits together, so it's going to be interesting. They're going to be tight when they come out of there, hopefully. But we'll get through this with the 21 of Kelly Horner. We play this through a slow motion. As Kelly gets hot in the corner, the rear end starts coming around him slow and easy. He tries to drive it up into the corner a little bit. Saves on for a while, but there's just no saving it once she gets that far around on you. That's going to spin him around, heading backwards on the track. He does another spin, heads back up towards the wall. Doesn't look like he really made any hard contact with the wall, so he should be okay damage-wise. Tough break for Kelly Horner. That's just going to hurt him in the field a little bit further back now for the 21. Back to you.
Yeah, and he's that first car 1 lap down in 14th, too. So I think just by way of being involved in that caution flag, he'll forfeit the lucky dog. But that's a break for guys like Bedoya and Sylvain and the rest of that group, J-Rock. Those guys now going to be able to earn their way back to the lead lap the hard way. And we know Mauricio was so fast out the gate. He's going to restart deep in the field, and I think we're going to be in for a terrific show here through these last 30 laps.
Yes, it's definitely going to look interesting as far as to see Bedoya, I think I don't know if I pronounce that right, get back to the front. But yeah, too bad for the 21 of Kelly Horner. He would have been that recipient of that lucky dog had it not been him involved in that caution. So yeah. I'm going to be watching him to see if he can earn it back the hard way, like you said.
So we look around on the racetrack, just waiting to see. You're going to see if we can't talk to one of the guys still alive in this scramble, get their thoughts, and see what they're thinking here so far at Phoenix tonight. Trying to see if we can't get communication here. Just want to make sure we're not going to affect anybody out there just trying to get read on the pace card. Lights are still on the DRTV pace rail. Let's see if we can't get a quick word with the 59 of Ryan Johnson. No, we haven't talked to Ryan nearly enough this season. See if we can't get a quick word with the driver of the 59. Let's see. Ryan Johnson, Phil Lacasse of DRTV. Do you have a copy?
I do. Got a copy.
Ryan out there at the Phoenix International Raceway tonight, slip sliding around. One of our last 4 drivers eligible in the scramble out there, currently outside looking in, but having a great run in 7th. You got anything left for these guys in front of you to charge you through these last 30 laps?
I'm hoping to find something here. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen these last 30. I haven't had anything tonight, but I've had a hell of a time here at TDR all season. It's been a blast. It really doesn't matter if I make it or not, but I'll give her a shot.
Well, Ryan, we certainly appreciate all the support for the series. We're certainly rooting for you. You've been a loyal to this series all year long, and I'm sure it's a big accomplishment to you just to make it to this Final Four here tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'm completely satisfied with that, but I'm going to give her hell, guys.
All right, well, you come to the restart, Ryan. Good luck, and we'll talk to you here later on, and we'll see you next week at Homestead. Good luck, my friend. Give that thing a good run.
Thank you, Phil.
All right, just a quick word there. Our buddy Ryan Johnson, the 59. Don't want to keep him out of the race chatter for too long. He's getting ready for a restart. 82 laps will be up on the board here. DRTV pace fan coming to pit road. 13 drivers left on the lead lap. It's going to be Dakota Wilkins, a 78. He'll restart with the race lead. Derek Justice, Robert Bauckham, Ken Hansen. Those two guys battling for that transfer spot. And Bobby Farrell, the 43. That is going to be a current top 5 as they're racing to turn 1, J-Rock.
Yeah, indeed they are, and it's going to be interesting seeing it. We haven't seen Bobby up there all that much tonight, so it's going to be interesting if he can stay up there. He usually likes to stay towards the back. I don't know if that's part of his strategy or what have you, but yeah, curious to see, I guess, how he's going to hold up, I guess, with these some of these hard chargers.
Just letting these guys all sort out. Now the rule is here at tracks mile and under here at TDR Racing, these guys not allowed to pass to the exit of turn 2. You've seen these guys just tucking up and letting it roll through those first 2 corners, and now they're hard on the throttle here. One better lap on the restart, and a race for the race lead. The 31 of Derek Justice trying to lay waste to the 78 of Dakota Wilkins. He's to the inside. Looks like he's going to make the pass there. They're going to be side by side for the lead. That 78 fighting back down the front stretch, J-Rock.
Oh my goodness, yeah, we saw Derek struggling there, I guess, in that early part of the run there, and he's obviously figured something out there. He's like, it's go time. He can't he can't be holding back anymore. It's like we're getting here to crunch time, so.
As you say, you know, Derek, one of those scramble guys, one of this Final Four, and what better way to advance than try to go out there and collect your 10th checkered flag of the season, and that's what that Baskin-Robbins Ford is doing. Derek, the defending series champion, did it in a traditional format last year, laid waste to the field, winning by well over 250 points, but with this scramble format, he's going to have to charge hard each and every lap, and so far so good for the driver of the 31. Great battle going on for that 3rd position on the racetrack. That's between Ken Hansen and Robert Bauckham. Is now a yellow flag on the speedway. The 4th time tonight, yellow flag will grace the speedway on lap number 85. I'm just not finding through my quick scroll of here where that caution may have precipitated from, but business was about to pick up there, J-Rock, for that 3rd spot.
Oh, that is for sure. I saw Derek there. He was pulling away there a little bit, and I don't know if these guys are realizing that they can't push it too hard because tires are a premium at this track.
Well, Rock, we loved on Bobby Farrell here a little while ago. He was restarting in the top 5. He's got a brand new, fancy-looking paint job out there tonight. It is pretty, and you know, not exactly the way that we're going to see it here, but I believe Rich Patton is going to be ready here in just a couple of seconds to show the replay of that number 43 of Bobby Farrell. Seen him pointing in the wrong direction, so we'll let Rich get sorted out with the replay, and don't want to speculate there that he may have had some help, but that's going to bring the field all to pit road, and looks like all 4 drivers still in this scramble all going to come to pit road. Let's see what these guys all do as far as strategy from here. Is it going to be 2 tires? Is it going to be 4 tires? If you were one of those 4 guys, J-Rock, what's your call going to be?
Boy, this is a tough one, Phil. I'm expecting to be maybe no tires, maybe only 2, but like Rich mentioned earlier, it's like if you're going to come in, you might as well just get at least 2 and some fuel.
Well, down here in the 109 pit, definitely 2 right side tires for him. Ryan Johnson looks like it's going to be 4 tires on the 59. On the end of pit road, Robert Bauckham also taking 4 tires. 4 tires, it looks like, for the Derek Justice machine. Those guys all getting work. Service down and away. Looks like it might have been 2 tires on the 31. It was down to the wrong car. Looks like it was 2 tires, and he's going to win that race off pit road. Is Rich Patton. Believe you're ready with the replay. The 4th caution flag of the night. Show us what happened.
Yeah, we're going to keep our eyes. You mentioned Bobby Farrell a little bit earlier in that 43 STP machine. We're going to keep our eyes on him as he goes into the corner. He's got the 110 of Dennis Chambers behind him. We'll run this through at full speed, slow it down right now. There is contact. The 110 gets right into the back of 43. Wasn't sure what's going on. He drives straight off into the wall. As you see the right corner of the screen there, Bobby Farrell just spins it around, backs it up into the wall. Not sure what broke on the 110 to cause him straight into the wall and go right through the 43, but it looked tough. Bobby Farrell took one heck of a hit on the back end, also slammed him into the outside wall. Everybody else was able to get around. Just looks like the 110 and the 43 were involved in that one. Interesting note on that last pit strategy that we just had, Phil. All 4 Scramble drivers went down pits, as you mentioned. It looks like Hansen beat them out. So the 4 has shifted around. Hansen is no longer at the back of the pack looking in. He's up front defending. This is going to get interesting.
Yeah, he played that benefit of 2 tires. The rest of them guys, Derek Justice did take 4 tires, so all 4 came to pit road. 3 out of 4 electing for 4 tires. Ken Hansen going to be gambling man, J-Rock, taking those 2 tires. Looks like he restart 3rd, but he's going to have Derek right in his mirror. And you look back, Baucom's going to restart. It looks like around that 6th spot, and Ryan Johnson, he's still there as well. He's going to be a factor. Looks like he's going to restart 8th. So these guys now, with just outside of 20 laps to go, a lot of racing here left to go, and I think we're going to see a lot of drama around that transfer spot.
Well, I'd hate to say if I was a gambling man, but I know we got the great city of Las Vegas, I guess not too far from this location here, and that's a huge gamble, I think, for Hansen to go out there, but I hope it pays off for him. He's would have definitely earned it, I guess, if that pays off for him in the end.
All right, we're back with it here. Sorry, Rich, just trying to communicate with our buddies out there in the YouTube chat box, seeing Brian and Bob and all those guys out there watching here tonight. We appreciate all those support that our fans and friends give us here in the chat box each and every week, and can't do it without them, guys. You guys make this thing certainly go around. Here is going to restart here. It looks like they're going to put 90 of 110 up on the board. Mauricio Bedoya, he was our pole sitter. He led through the first half of this race, got trapped 1 lap down. It looks like turnabout of fortunes here. He's going to restart with the race lead. Jeremy Jeffries, the number 8, he's going to rebounded well. He's going to restart in that 2nd spot. And then you look back toward that scramble position. Ken Hansen, Derek Justice right there with those top 2 transfer spots, currently 3rd and 4th. The 78, Dakota Wilkins, will restart 5th. We know he's been fast all night long. The DRTV pace fan is off, looking for the restart, and green flag is in the air, J-Rock.
That is for sure, Phil. And here we go again. I'm hoping, like I said, see how the 109's tire strategy there works out, I guess, for him. Whoa, Jeffrey got a little bit loose there, and I think we might have another caution here, Phil.
Looks like there was contact there with the 8 of Jeremy Jeffries. Somehow made a tremendous save. They're going to keep it pointing in the right direction. Looks like he's going to lose a couple of positions on the racetrack, but great fancy-dancy there driving by Jeremy Jeffries, Rich. I was dead certain that thing was going to go around. We were going to see a caution, but that was tremendous driving by Jeremy right there.
Yeah, you couldn't say it any better than that. Jeremy had that car all over the track, and it was happening right around all these scrambler contenders. I thought for sure it was going to bounce off the 109, which he did. Doors check the 109 of Ken Hansen. I thought for sure that was going to send Ken Hansen around. Now we got the cameras on the 31 of Derek Justice. He is now going around the outside of the 109 of Ken Hansen. Watkins following behind him. Right behind Watkins, I think we still got Baucom. Baucom is still in hunt as well. So right there, your two scramble leaders going to be 31 of Justice and the 109 of Ken Hansen. They're battling it out. Hansen's not about to let go. Baucom's looking underneath the inside of Watkins. Baucom is now thinking about getting up there, mixing it up with him. Watkins closes the door. Meanwhile, the 31 and the 109 start pulling away from Watkins. Baucom is finally going back further. Sylvain's gotten around him on the outside, and now Sylvain's got his eyes on Watkins.
I think you mean Wilkins there, Rich, the 78. Rich Wilkins, you have me all confused. I'm like, I don't see Matt Watkins out here in the field tonight. It's Dakota Wilkins in that number 78. Great job as always, Rich, down there. I know we don't put you on the spot for calling the action there too often, but our buddy J-Rock up here in the booth tonight, not to overstrain him, and unfortunately down our buddies Todd and Joe here tonight. Rich stepping up with a little bit of color there, is Rich is really great at, and he just brings a tremendous flavor here to us here on DRTV. 93 laps up on the board, and Rich, you've been observing this race with these scramble spots, and you see Ken Hansen, that 109, taking them 2 tires. He may have just hit the money strategy. He may punch his ticket in, because you look outside that transfer spot, the 18 of Robert Baucom, the 59 of Ryan Johnson, they're currently 6th and 7th on the racetrack, but they've got a full 2.5 seconds to chase down that battle between the 109 and the 31.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. The 18 is in trouble back there along with the 59. They've got to get around Sylvain and Wilkins. I know that Dakota's probably going to have words with me later. I apologize, Dakota. I'm getting freaking excited here. But anyways, Wilkins is holding him down right now with Sylvain behind him. Balkham's got a lot of work to go. Meanwhile, the 31 is still hot and heavy on the 109. Not sure he wants to be behind him because that puts him on the bubble. It looks like he's trying to make a move on the inside right now. Hanson's going to try to close the door on him and take that position back. Derek Justice is not letting up on Ken at all.
No, and those two guys are currently locked in. If they were to stay that way right now, finish up in that second and third spot, they would race their way into Homestead next week. So, J-Rock, I'm not sure how much of a factor you would be. If you're Derek, I'm not sure you want to march forward and maybe risk losing that spot, or you may open the door for somebody like Robert Balkham that we know who gets around Phoenix real well. If you have those two guys out there, especially Derek in that 31, are you going to mind your time and just try to make the finish of this thing, or are you going to try to charge forward and get that other spot?
I think I would take the stance of just biding my time and just ride it. I mean, if as we see, I think 31's just. Oh, I think you might have the 109.
It looks like he is there. He's to the inside, and he's going to work his way around. So Derek, not a guy who's going to sit around and save his stuff. It's go time here. The best way to advance in the scramble is to be the first car advancing out of it. Currently second place on the racetrack. He'll drop kick the 109. Ken Hansen back to third, but meanwhile, as Rich is just saying in my ear, our current race leader, Bedoya, in that number 68, he is just checking out from the field. Average speed of this race so far, slowed by 4 caution flags, well over 105 miles per hour. It just shows the speed that they have in the racetrack tonight, and certainly shows the muscle of that 68, Rich, that Mauricio is just able to pull away from these guys. He certainly laid it to him tonight. He's so far been the class of the field here, now with 10 laps to go.
Oh, he most definitely has. The last lap he ran is a 2.760. He is on the move, but we know Justice is back there fighting as well. Justice's last lap was a 2.7.610, so he's trying to gain on your leader, but he's got a lot of ground to catch up now. And it's kind of ironic to see Jeffries there now getting lapped down by Bedoya when just a little bit ago, before the last caution in the lap or so ago, we saw Jeffries up there battling with Bedoya, and times have changed now. Jeffries is down in the pack, and Bedoya is back on rails, as once mentioned.
Yeah, 68 has certainly just been wearing them out tonight, as we said. 2.4 seconds last time by. Derek Justice is cutting into that lead some, but now with 10 laps to go. The 68 Bedoya with the race lead, the 31 of Justice there currently second. Great battle on the racetrack around that third spot. Ken Hansen is in that transfer spot, currently in the third spot, but he's got a mirror full of the 78 Dakota Wilkins, the 2 of Tom Sylvain, and right in the thick of that, the 18 of Robert Balkham starting to pick forward. Currently on the outside looking in. It's certainly go time for that 18 J-Rock as they head to turn 3.
Yeah, that's for sure, Phil. I was just looking through some of the running order here, and currently we have 13 cars on the lead lap, and all of the scramble drivers are obviously running up front there. You got the 109, 109 to 31, and Balkham right there just on the outside looking in, like you said.
Maybe not on the outside looking in real long, as he's made his way around that number 2 of Sylvain. Now it's got the 78 in his crosshairs. Is that Wilkins machine? Balkham rolling it on the high side, and just ahead of Dakota, they're side by side. That's that battle for that transfer spot. Hansen sliding up the racetrack. Here comes Robert Balkham, Rich, looking to the inside. With less than 10 laps to go, these guys trying to race their way to Homestead next week.
Yes, they are. Wilkins opened the door for Balkham. Balkham's able to get down beside the 109 of Ken Hansen. It looks like we have a battle going on for the scramble once again. We know Bedoya checked out. There's not a lot going on up there. He's like in first class, on the airlines. But Balkman back here, gotten around 109 of Ken Hansen now. He's got to have his sights set up on Wilkins right now. He's making a move on Wilkins on the inside as they go down to the corner.
Yeah, now we're just outside of 5 laps to go. Bedoya driving away. Justice starting to make some headway there. Now under 2 seconds is that deficit. But we look back to that battle for that transfer spot around the 3rd position. Robert Balkham now picking his way forward. He's got some distance between himself and the Ken Hansen machine, who's locked in a side-by-side battle for that 5th spot. J-Rock off of turn 4.
Yeah, Balkham is definitely making the move. He's making his move. He already got around the 78 car. I was just watching this live in time and scoring here and just keeping up with all this stuff. There's a lot going on here. This thing isn't over yet, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's just fantastic racing here through the top 5. Apologize that, Rich. Just got my stuff moved around here on the deck here in the last couple of days, so the keyboard a little farther reach than I'm accustomed to. Trying to multitask over here, just clicking around the speedway is, it's still Bedoya out there with the race lead. Justice currently, got some really great distance between himself and Robert Balkum. Looks like the battle has settled down around that transfer spot. Balkum in the 18 currently there. Now stretching it out to about a 2-second advantage, so they're going to put 107 up on the board here, Rich Pat, next time by. The drama for the current time being looks like it's maybe settled down there around that transfer spot, and Robert Balkum has picked his way forward.
Yeah, Balkum's definitely got some space between him and Sylvain. Sylvain in the number 2 behind him. You look back, the next car is the 109 of Ken Hansen. Ken Hansen was putting in one heck of a fight early on, but he's lost some ground to these guys. He pretty far back off of the Sylvain machine right now, so not sure Hansen's going to have enough time to go. Looks like we've only got 3 laps or so to go. Balkum looks like he may have made the move to get him into the finals to race for that championship in the scramble. Also, we see the 31 of Derek Justice made his way up there after some dreadful work early on. We saw him braking heavy in the corners, smoke checking his tires, bald spotting his tires, was having a rough go of it. Looks like he finally found his groove. He is now running up in 2nd place, but I don't think he's going to make up the ground to catch that car on rails. That's the 68 of Bedoya. He is on fire, and as long as he keeps his nose clean, it looks like he's going to be our race winner tonight.
Yeah, and popsicle sticks going up in the air last time around for Bedoya there, a 1.3 second advantage. That 31 of Justice certainly looks like the fastest car on the racetrack, as he's cut that lead down from well over 3 seconds to now under a 1.5 seconds, but looks like he is going to run out of laps there as they work their way off of turn number 4. White flag's going to be in the air. 1 more mile around this Phoenix International Raceway for Mauricio Bedoya, also a 2-time winner in the Premier Cup Series this year. Was Scramble eligible when we started a few weeks ago at Kansas. Unfortunately, Mauricio, has had some stuff to take care of there for the mid part of the season. Just was able to rejoin us last week. But it looks like as they head to turn 3, he was our pole sitter. And it looks like for the 3rd time this season, as they work their way for the final time through 3 and 4, it's going to be Mauricio Bedoya. He's going to win the Salute the Service 175 at Phoenix here, J-Rock. What a terrific race for these guys.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Phil. A lot of hard-fought battles. Field kind of flew pretty bad was the 109. That was a hard-fought battle between Justice there. Justice, obviously, the better, I guess, of that battle. And, yeah, these drivers definitely earned their keep, I guess, in this scramble.
Yeah, and it was just a terrific race overall. Bedoya taking now the win in dominating fashion here tonight, leading almost all the laps here. Fell a lap down through around the green flag pit stops, got trapped a lap down, able to race his way back with a quick caution and finds his way to victory lane. Victory number 3 for Mauricio this season as he brings that 68 into victory lane for the 3rd time. As you said, Derek Justice, the first of them Scramble guys, will come home on the runner-up spot tonight. And the 18 of Robert Balkum, he's going to finish upon the podium in the 3rd spot. And a great run for those 3. Ken Hansen, that 109, certainly a game challenger tonight. He's going to finish up in the 5th spot. And kudos to Ryan Johnson, the 4th of those Scramble drivers, has a great run finishing up in the 9th spot tonight, Rich Patton. But with this format taking 2 out of 4, it's a big game field. It was a semifinal. Only 2 could go on, but a hats off to all 4 of these guys. They put on one terrific show tonight, as did this entire field.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better, and I got to agree with you. I know we challenged you early on in the year and telling you better come up with a good format that gets exciting. I don't know what gets more exciting than this scramble situation that you have created here. Unbelievable race within a race, a lot of excitement going on. Yeah, to win the race is exciting, and to watch the winners, the leaders battle for that lead up front. It's just utterly amazing to see these guys really fighting for 4th position or 6th position or wherever they're out on the track. Unbelievable racing within racing. I love it.
Yeah, it's going to make for some terrific stuff. Well, great job for you guys up here in the booth as we move toward the post-race show here. Going to be one more race here left to go. Cannot believe we've come all the way to race 36 of the season here for the 2016 version of the DRTV Premier Cup Series. A great race here at the Salute the Service 175, won by the number 68, Mauricio Bedoya. That Pride of Bogota, Colombia, going to go to victory lane. The 31 of Derek Justice transfers out of the scramble into the final next week, and also working his way into that last transfer spot. He'll race for a championship next week. Is that 118 of Robert Balkum on the podium tonight? Robert is Phil Buddy from DRTV. A tremendous race out there for you guys. What were you thinking in those closing laps, having to chase down there Ken Hansen for that last transfer spot?
It was wild. Before I get that, I want to give a big thanks to all the veterans out there who, I mean, this is all about them. They sacrifice day in, day out to be able to, for us to be able to do this and us to come home to our families every night. So, you know, it's all about them. And of course, Todd out there, you know, he's going through some tremendous stuff right now. I couldn't imagine the stuff he's going through. So, Todd, we're thinking about you, man. You're in our prayers. And like I said, if there's anything we can do for you, let us know.
Yeah, we certainly.
Oh,
yeah, it was a
sorry,
heck
go
of a
ahead.
race. Heck of a race there, Robert, and certainly our thoughts and prayers with Todd and his family and his son Shelton there, as we all document. He's been going through some horrific times here, and it's going to be a long road for the little guy, and we all wish him well. But great race at Phoenix here tonight, Robert. You guys are slipping and sliding, and this Phoenix track tonight certainly was a very raceable surface. And tell us about what the racing was like out there. You guys battled around for that transfer spot all night long, and you know, to come up to victory there and finish up there third. But just tell me how fast that 68-31 were tonight. Those two guys just laying down some terrific laps there on worn tires. That certainly had to be tough.
Oh yeah, the 68 was he was another ballpark. I watched him in practice, which, you know, he was shifting, and I just hate shifting tracks, you know. But I know you had to right there at the end. I mean, at the end, I just had to give everything I had because Ken made a freaking tremendous call. I couldn't believe he was able to hold us off. And then, of course, you know, I'm trying to get to Ken, but at the same time, you got two other guys that are battling for position, so you have to give them respect because, you know, they're here for a reason, same as we're here for a reason. So, you know, I hated to just put some of the pressure on Todd and Tom and Dakota, but I mean, it was time to go. I even knew it was either going to be in or out. So I mean, you know, I had to get up on the wheel and give it all I got. But shout out to Maurice and especially to Derek for also going to the next week's race. Yeah, that'll be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be Robert Balkum versus Derek Justice for the Premier Cup Series Championship next week at Homestead. I can't wait to get there. Can't wait to see where Homestead's going to take us, Robert. But before we get there, I want to give you the microphone one more time to give a shout out to all your friends, your family, your sponsors out there, and everybody who got you here tonight.
Oh, definitely. Well, of course, like I said, the veterans none of us could be here without you guys. So definitely thinking about you, Todd. Always in my prayers. And like I said, DRTV, man, you guys, it's amazing what you do for this sim community. People who's not into it a lot doesn't understand the time and effort you put into it, and we couldn't tell you thanks every day and it'd be enough. So we appreciate you guys. Definitely want to thank the Apple Collision Centers for coming on and sponsoring me this year. These guys couldn't ask for a better sponsor as far as being there, cheering me on. The workers from there, Jess, Willie, you know, they're there to cheer me on from home, and of course my wife and daughter cheer me on in the background, so that makes it fun. And like I said, it's going to be interesting with Derek. And, you know, here's where I look at it: you're going against one of the best there is. If I don't beat him, hey, I'll finish second to the best there is. So, but I can promise you, when I leave here, I can say I gave it everything I got.
Well, Robert, congratulations again on a third-place finish here for us tonight, and we'll certainly catch up here next week at Homestead. It should be fun, buddy. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week for certain.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that's our buddy Robert Block. I'm going to finish up there in that transfer spot on the podium tonight with a third-place finish, and no another guy probably equally excited. I think I got him up here in the booth with us now as well. The 31 of Derek Justice. Derek, I'm sure you're disappointed to finish up in that runner-up spot tonight, but most importantly, you're going to race your way on through the Scramble and race for a championship next week at Homestead. So I'm pretty sure you're excited about that. But tell us about the race here tonight. It was pretty spectacular.
The race was I don't know how to explain that race. It could have been both ways. It could have been really aggressive and patient, but at the same time, it was just a little bit of both. It was aggressive and patient. It's just I had a couple of fuel strategies, and both times a timely caution came out, and I was a little disappointed in that. But the main goal is you know, finishing the top two spots between me, Robert, Ken, and Rick Johnson there. So I mean, I succeeded. So on Homestead with Robert, it's gonna be a good one.
Well, Derek, it certainly made for a tremendous race here tonight. I mean, for a little while there, all you guys around that transfer spot were nip and tuck through it, and the way you guys were sliding around at Phoenix here tonight, I'm certainly sure behind the wheel that made for some exciting times. But, you know, just for our fans out there that are watching, tell us what that was like to go wheel to wheel with these guys out here tonight, knowing that Mauricio was in a rocket ship and just in a class all by himself, but racing around Robert and Ken Hansen, who had a terrific run here tonight. That certainly probably made you I would imagine, to be on top of your game to make sure you advanced your way out tonight.
Yeah, I just had to be smooth and just hit my marks and just don't overdrive it and make a dumb mistake. And I think I would have had a little bit of something from Mauricio, but yeah, he was fast all night, and I just kind of ran out of time there. But I think I would have had Mauricio there if I had a few more laps. But it was fun, and I guess I see y'all at Homestead, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time for sure. And I think I've heard you say on multiple occasions, Homestead maybe not your greatest racetrack. So certainly going to be a battle next week between you and Robert. We can't wait to see where that's going to take it and who's going to walk out of that thing next week as our series champion. But Derek, a 9-time winner this year, certainly, a class act all around in here. And I want to give the microphone one more time to give a shout out to your friends, your family, your sponsors, and everybody out there who may be watching us here tonight.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all the veterans that served our country for the Veterans Day weekend. Thank you for your service, each and every one of you. You can't really thank them enough for what they do. Second of all, I want to thank DRTV that always putting these fantastic shows on each and every week. And and I'll say it again, I'm just excited for what next year has in store. And of course, Baskin Robbins, GameStop, Discover Car, Gatorade, all those guys supported me for years and years and years. And I hope they keep on doing so. And lastly, I'd like to thank everybody that's watching out there on YouTube land, and of course my family and friends that are watching and let me do what I love, and that's sim racing.
All right. Well, Derek, congratulations once again, a runner-up finish, and I'm sure we'll see you next week racing for a title here at Homestead. Congratulations, buddy. Good job on racing your way out, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, so.
All right. That's Derek Justice on the runner-up spot here tonight. But Rich Patton, I know you worked your way down to a crazy, crazy victory lane. And I think for the third time this year, you found Mauricio Bedoya. So down to you, Rich.
Yes, indeed, I did. I made my way down here to victory lane here in Phoenix. An unbelievable race. Mauricio, you were a rocket ship tonight, buddy. Congratulations on the win. How's it going?
Thank you. No, that's no way. It's an amazing race. Was a really amazing race. I tried to keep pushing in the beginning, but when I saw the yellow flag, and I mean, I don't know what happened, but maybe for that, and I tried to get tired after that. But when I stay in this place, I do the same. I try to keep pushing and stay behind there, and the in the race, I saw that so many guys try to get gasoline and tires, and I go, but it was amazing race. I love it at track, and thank you guys for this track. I really like it.
Yeah, you definitely had the class or the strength of the field tonight. It looked like once you got up front, you pretty much checked out of the field early on. Looks like Justice were having problems getting around the track, finding his groove, over braking, getting into the corners and everything. But you appeared to be so smooth out there running up front once you got up front. There was a time in that race where you got put back in the back due to pit strategies and everything. Looked like it might have slowed you down a little bit. But once you got back up front, it looked like you got that strength back up and was able to get away from this field. So congratulations on the win tonight, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I love it at track when in the last restart, I try to get pushing and stay really far of their Justice and the other body, because I know they have the tires and I have the other, but that's it. And I try to get pushing, and I love this track, and that's it. Thank you guys so much for casting you do.
Yeah, I hear that. You said it perfectly too. With that last pit stop, we saw all those Scramble guys go down and to grab tires on the pits while you were out there. Just unbelievably, to stay up front. But congratulations again. We're going to give you the floor. The mic is all yours, Mauricio. Congratulate who got here tonight, and once again, congratulations on the win, buddy. The mic is yours.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, Phil. There you have it. Your race winner today, the 68 of Mauricio Bedoya. What a race, Phil. This was amazing.
No, it certainly was an awesome night, and just a big salute to all our servicemen out there. We appreciate all their service, past and present, and those who continue to serve. We just want to say a small token of thank you tonight, all we can do here on DRTV. And a tremendous job up here in the booth for Rich Patton and our buddy J-Rock. And Rock, it was great to have you up here tonight. Appreciate you filling in here, certainly on a last-minute notice, but a great job by you, and I hope you had a good time with us.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Phil, it's like I hope I don't know if Todd's watching or not. I hadn't seen him out in the chat, perusing through that. But yeah, as you guys mentioned, we're all thinking of him and his situation with his little boy. And if you do get a chance to watch this, Todd, I hope it did you proud. Big shoes to fill. As far as like I said, I can only hope I didn't do you too bad.
Well, J-Rock, you did great as normal. We appreciate all your work up here, and thank you to both you guys up here in the booth. It was an honor to share the booth tonight with two veterans as well. So on this Veterans Day weekend for us here on DRTV, an awesome salute to all you guys out there. Next up for us, 1 week from tonight, championship night for the DRTV Premier Cup Series, the Homestead Miami Speedway. Derek Justice first, Robert Baucom, the top finisher of those two, will be crowned the series champion, 9 p.m. Eastern, the live time for us here on DRTV. Head out to our Facebook outlets and to the new website, drlnetwork.com. Check out what we have going on. Get your league on DRTV. Great new broadcast packages to custom fit to all your league's needs. And we'd love to come over and give you guys the first-class treatment. So 1 week from tonight here with the Premier Cup Series here on DRL Network, and 1 week from tomorrow, 8 days from now, we make our first ever visit for DRTV to the FTF guys for the big showdown there, championship night over there for the Jones Cup Series over the first time, FTF Racing. Cannot wait to get there in about 8 days. And then in the month of December, a lot of great events lining up. So the full schedule available, drlnetwork.com. So until next time, for J-Rock and for Rich Patton in the booth, a great job as always. My name is Phil LaCasse. I'd like to say thank you to all our veterans out there, and thank you all out there for watching us tonight with this latest installment of DRTV on the DRL Network. Good night.